Yeah, man, I'm just gonna keep continue on in this vein of this the instead of just look, this one will be more about the sorcery aspect, as far less about the human trafficking aspect. But look, a lot of sorcery is done through human trafficking. I mean, but it's just not the way you would think. You know what I'm saying? It's like something called stem cells. Okay, stem cells. Stem cells can only come from living beings. So where do you think those stem cells are coming from? You know what I'm saying? Even if they're cloning people, harvesting the stem cells from the clones, we're still dabbling in some whoa, what WTF and SHTF type events, okay, with this. And I mean, even look, the Bible says you're not supposed to, you're not even supposed to eat things with blood in it, and it talks about don't mix certain things, right? And so it's like there's a lot of stuff that they're doing with blood to do with medicine, okay, to get a transfusion, even though that saves lives. It's still, you're crossing some kind of barriers that were previously like accounted for. You know what I'm saying? In previous times, and it's like, how come people don't? I mean, people are dumbed down that they don't get it. I mean, it's like drugs, man. Drugs are sorcery as well, and the pharmacaya. That's like, and they literally are using human beings to make drugs, and I've heard about, it's like, look, there used to be these queens in Europe, and they would literally like kill their maidens and bathe in their blood because it would make them like appear younger. I'll tell you this. This is true facts. When I skin a deer, or I mess with like a tan hide and I scrape on it and I get that fat and that visceral freaking the blood and guts on me, like when I wash my hands, they do appear to be younger. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's really oily. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I noticed just from that there's an effect. Like, look, cosmetically, you know what I'm saying? It's like in the whole hookup culture and the way that they've legalized abortion, and it's like and they've pushed it on us through a lot of different programs, social programs as well, and on women in general. And they're literally, that's a way to harvest raw materials for these different, for look, supposedly it is the first vax, I think, was made out of with some components of a dead baby, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? They cultured the original strain to some extent off this thing, dude. I mean, it's just like, look, it's crazy stuff. So I mean, look, that literally is necromancy and sorcery, dude. Like, you're using human blood in a something, and it's like, look, that's almost like being a vampire in a way. Instead of sucking the blood, you're just allowing someone to take it out in a syringe and take it from one, put it in another. You know what I mean? So it's like even with these experimental technologies, dude, where they want to do biometrics through DNA rewriting, stuff like that, dude. Look, this is sorcery, dude, and it says it, man, that they deceive the nations by the sorcery, and it's deeper than just Xanax and Vicodins, dude, and just crack and heroin and meth. I mean, even though that does have a component to it because it keeps people freaking slaves to chemicals, and so therefore they're no real threat because they're all preoccupied with that. You know what I'm saying? And that way, people are. But no, it's even worse than that. I mean, it's like it would seem now, and it's more. Look, I'm leaning more towards the whole medical uses of this stuff, dude, as opposed to, and that's drugs too, dude. That's drugs. The drug, food, drug, and what is it? FDA, food, drug. Yeah, Food and Drug Administration. It's like they're approving this stuff. And I don't know if you ever seen that movie Soylent Green. You know what I mean? But there's a theory that people get heightened aggression and strength from cannibalizing other people, dude. And and some of these people that have went missing, what if they ended up in our food and we didn't know it? And that's a way, like literally, dude, that's another form of sorcery. Because I've heard there's the old freaking, they always talk about the Haitian women always try to put their monthly cycle blood inside of people's food, and somehow that's a love hex, which is gross. But it's more evidence of this. I mean, certainly in freaking the serpent in the rainbow, like literally they had to dig up a body, like it had to be kind of old, because it's harder to get to the bones, I guess, if it was fresh. And I mean, I'd imagine those bones would, I know, because I pick up deer bones all the time. So like, look, old ones are brittle, you crush them up into powder. But if it was fresh, you couldn't do that. It takes a while for them to age. But I'd imagine anyway, they would freaking take a toad and a snake, tie it together in a bag, leave it outside all night, and then they would take those two things, kill them, somehow dry them out, crush them down into a powder, and mix them with the dug up grave human bone. Like, that was part of the ritual, man, as they went and targeted a human for, I don't know what the exact properties was, but what I found was interesting, and through the whole book, it talked about these people always smelling like mold. You know what I'm saying? Like death and decomposition. Like, in fungus itself has sorcery effects. You know what I'm saying? Some certain funguses can. It can cause mental disorder, anxiety, feeling like the skin's crawling, like weird effects. And I'd imagine maybe even psychosis. I mean, look, there's the ergot, and the ergot is this kind of fungus that grows on certain grain crops, and this causes freaking a psychosis, a straight up sorcery, pharmacaya event. And it's all interesting, you know what I mean? Freaking all this stuff. I mean, the government developed the drug LSD, and they were literally paying, subcontracting people to go spike people's drinks, and then they would have agents come bust them, like right after, set them up, dose their drink, come bust them. And this is during the same time that the CIA was doing the MK Ultra experiments, and this is one of the methods that they went about it. And they've even dosed people so bad they like went and jumped out of windows, and dudes just had catastrophic failures in life. I mean, through their sorceries, the nations were deceived. And it's crazy, because I thought I knew something about something, and come to find out, dude, it's so much deeper than I could have ever known. And it's like it shows how corrupt and how just cutthroat and dirty these fools is, because it's almost like they're running the same hustles over and over and over again, but they keep getting away with them, so they're just getting more wild and more out of control, and they're just like gone wild with this stuff. And it's not new. They used to go spike people's drinks with acid, man. I mean, if you ever done acid, man, that's some powerful shizzle. And look, if someone did that to you and didn't tell you they did it, and all of a sudden you were like, what the heck is going on, man? Where am I? I'm in BFE, dog. What am I, in purgatory? I mean, you might lose your freaking mind. Like, freaking, what's wrong with me, man? I think I'm losing my mind. Look, that can have a long-lasting effect on somebody. Like, you definitely have emotional dysregulation issues, man, anxiety, PTSD, and they mind controlled you too, trying to turned you half into a Manchurian candidate. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So I mean, even that right there, even that, would you set someone up like that with drugs, and then you have your agents waiting, like planting dope on some criminal, and then freaking sending the joint, where he makes the state, the county, $43,000 a year as an incarcerated person, when you might be only making 12 on the street working minimum wage, man. Human trafficked again, dude. And then they dose those people with all kinds of experimental drugs. Like they put something in their Kool-Aid that makes it so you can't get a hard on, a saltpeter in the Kool-Aid. Okay, so and and who knows what other kind of experiment. Look, if they do that, they're doing more. You know what I'm saying? Than that, like probably the Kool-Aid. They probably put fluoride in there too. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Look, spraying lithium on their food, stuff like that, man. I mean, they they used to have that saying, man. There's something in the water that's causing people to. It makes sense. Why would the young girls start to mature faster? Because think about it. It's not that, so they're prime and ripe. No, it's that you're prematurely causing them to age. Because the longer it takes for them to hit that stage, the longer you could stretch that out, man, for the rest of their life. You could scale that up. So what it is just, look, they're giving us chemicals, man. They've been dosing us with chemicals for years to shorten our lifespan. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. You just got to beware out here, dude. Don't be naive. Don't be gullible. Don't ignore it. Don't enable these suckers to make Soylent Green out of us, dude. And experiment on us and basically murder everybody, murder people you love and people you don't know, and you just don't know how far it's gone. What if a lot of things that you were mad at life about because things were cut short for whatever reason, what if somebody was responsible for it, and it's not what you thought it was or who you thought it was. It is something totally different, and it just snuck right under your nose. And it seems like there's been a lot of this going on, and you can track that and trace that through history, and there's a definite pattern of abuse and exploitation, overstepping of boundaries, and just using people like very just demeaningly and demoralizingly and just unsympathetic and unempathetically, man. It's just it's crazy. And then people will just be like, they just really, even if they just don't really give F anyway, because they're apathetic about it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird, but it's crazy, man. And I don't know, just do your research, and research some more, ask questions, and some more questions, and some more questions, and ask some more. You know what I mean? Anyway, man,